Hello, it's Caroline at For the Love of Crochet, and I have a name change. So some little information. I changed my YouTube name from Caroline with the the brackets and then 4TLOFC. I changed it just to have the whole word Caroline for the Love of Crochet all spelled out, so I'm much easier to find, and you don't have to put in those brackets or remember that it's the number 4, not the letter F. Anyways, changed my name. I hope that works out better for everyone, including me especially. Okay, so I have 4 finished objects for you today, and a most prized make at the very end of the video, which isn't crochet related, but it's put on by a couple of crochet YouTubers that encourage us to sew. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already had a little peek, but I will include some footage and my whole process of my most prized make at the end of the video. And I also have 2 works in progress that I'd like to share, as well as some great new things that I've tried out for Amigurumi that you may find helpful as well. So stick around for the whole video and let's get started. Okay, I have the first one, which is, okay, got it. It is a dinosaur. Now, I was wanting to make this because I had been requested to make a dinosaur, and I was like, you know what? I've never made one. I've always wanted to make one. I thought I had one in my whole library somewhere that I would have a dinosaur. I do not have a pattern for dinosaurs. So I went to YouTube and found one, and they made theirs using the Bernat chunky type yarn, the very thick one, and it came out nice and neat, and it was, a ruler size, maybe about 10 inches. Well, mine did not come out so 10 inches. And so the body is quite stubby, but I do like it. But there's not a lot of room. And so here's my dinosaur. So he was supposed to be stretched out a little bit longer for the body using that type of yarn. I think I used a 4.5 hook. Yes, I believe I used a 4.5 hook, and I used this Soft Essentials thick yarn, which is a number 5. And it is thick, but it isn't quite as thick as what that chunky yarn would be. So he came out mini. And I do like them. I did use some of these eyes, these safety eyes, and that is going to lead me into what I have to talk to you later about. So yeah, he is cute, and I wanted it to be for a boy, so that's why I wanted this color. I only had one skein of this, so it worked out really well, I think. He's cute. Lots of pieces to sew on. Oh, and a great tip. So on this tutorial, which I'll link everything always below, because I'm going to forget every name, all of them. She gave a great tip. So when you're creating these little pieces, right, you have the beginning crochet piece that you have when you first start a project, and it's that tail, right? That tail beginning. She uses the tail beginning to just find your placement and to hold still your little piece. So you stick in that that beginning piece, and you just place it where you want your amigurumi piece to go, and that will keep your amigurumi piece centered and onto your amigurumi nice and neat, especially if you have a good distance of your beginning tail. So if you're doing amigurumi pieces for small pieces like this, that is a great tip for holding your pieces in place while you're getting them stitched in. So on that tutorial, it gives that tip. Okay, so that is my first one. My second one is not going to be new to you, but it is new with new yarn, and that is my 3-in-1 Katydids pattern by, Katydids on Etsy, which is about $6-ish, and you get 3 patterns in one. In fact, that's the name of the pattern itself. It's called 3-in-1. I've had it in many of my other videos, so I won't go over it. I did forget the tail, so I'm going to have to add that on right now. I used the eyes here, the safety eyes. And this is that ice cream yarn, and I do like the way that it just blends in nicely. It's not such a drastic change. It blends nicely, so I like that. It's all very neutral. I don't know what color this was, but this was from my Michaels haul, and so I used it. I wanted to use it, and so I did a very well-known pattern. Okay, so I got requested to do 3 of these bunnies. And I was debating whether to do the mini sizes with yarns like, smaller yarns. I was even wanting to try it in this yarn, which I got at Michael's. But when I started it, I wasn't quite sure. So this is the arm. I started it and I didn't know if they were going to want a bunny with this many colors. So I decided to put that off and go with getting rid of some big chunks of yarn. So here we have the bunny, the 3-in-1 bunny. Now this is in the Bernat baby blanket yarn. And of course this is the variegated, and then this is the solid. Now it takes 2 skeins to make this pattern. And so I always use 2. So I was knowing that after doing this pattern so many times, I decided to try and incorporate, because the solid color, I can't finish a whole bunny. So I used the variegated to do the pads, the foot pads, and then the ears. And then if you notice, no safety eyes here, because not only are they hard to get, you don't really get them in a nice pack. You only get like 4 sets and then they're done. So I've been buying these off Etsy, which is going to bring me to my another one, what I'm going to share with you later. So here they are. Isn't that beautiful? I think it brings out the colors much more better than safety eyes. So here's the first one, little bunny butt. Okay. And then here is the second one. And I was just, okay, so that blue yarn has a glitter to it. Wait a minute. So this one has a glitter sheen to it. It's very glittery, but this one does not. And it came out so much more tighter. And so I don't know if it was my stitching, but it just came out so much more tighter. I believe the blue one came out much more thicker. So that added glitter, I think, added some volume to it or something. So this one, I decided to switch up and do a shirt, like it's wearing a shirt, and the ears. And then I used different safety eyes, or different felt eyes this time. These ones have lashes and little glittery eyes. And there you go, bunny butt. So here's the second one. I'm supposed to do a third one, but that'll probably in another video, because I'm going to do something different with that one. I'm going to use Big Twist, and that has a different feel to it than the Bernat blanket. It is more airy and fluffier. I'm going to try it. It's going to be in pink, light pink. It's a slightly lighter pink than this one. And so you'll see that one. And I'm going to definitely use some felt eyes on that as well. Okay, so that was 1, 2. That was all 4 of my finished objects. Now on to the 2 works in progress. Okay, another not so new. Okay, so I'll start with this one. I told you of my plan for my my donation for the Crochet Church, which donates to all of the different venues in our valley, or needs in our valley. And I said I had this yarn and some very bright orange yarn. I said I was going to do granny squares. So I did, and they look beautiful. So I have my little stacks of grannies. So there's the variegated, and here is the light pink, and of course the bright orange, which is so bright on camera. So I made all of those. I started backing them because I said I was going to have all of the colors, and then what I was going to attach them with, I decided to do 2 rows, and then when I attach it, it's going to be in white as well. So all the colors will be spread out, if you can kind of see. So there's going to be one more for the row of white, but you get the idea. So I've gotten quite a few of these squares backed. So these are the 4 that I got backed, and then here's the ones that I need to do more white. I've ran out of white, so I'm going to go scrounge up some more scraps in my whites and add that to that. It's very light and airy. I used a 4.5 hook, and it is that it's that soft one, very soft thin yarn. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it, but I think it's Red Heart. Me and my names of yarn. Okay, so that is my current whip in progress. I did not get to my other whip, which was I said I was going to try and complete my 2 whips, which was my son's mosaic blanket and then this one. So I started working on this, so there is progress. Did not touch my son's blanket because I got this order for 3 bunnies. Okay, but since I don't have the 3rd yarn, I had to go to Joann's to pick up more yarn for the 3rd bunny. I decided to work on something that's not new to you either. It is another Albert pattern, but this time I'm using some yarn that I was donated and a very thick yarn like this one. So it's this number 5 type yarn along with this yarn. And I'm using them together to make a big Albert. And I did not realize how big it was turning out. Let me see my little balls. Okay, look. He's gonna be ginormous. You can see my other little Alberts, my 3 little Alberts right back here. So this one's the mama, this is daddy, and baby is in the middle. This is gonna be, oh gosh, a Sasquatch version of Albert. So I have a little bit of the orange one I'm using. I must have, oh, here it is. Here's the blue one. And I'm saving this bit to make its arms. So when I add the arms, so that it still coordinates. So I'm using it with this. And so whatever yarn I'm using, I'm going to pair it with this one, and that's going to give it that uniform look of just it blending together. But I had no idea it was going to be this huge. Look at that. His foot is the size of my hand. In comparison to those, they were not this, like 5 times bigger. Anyway, so I'm excited to see this one see how it comes out, or if it just looks crazy and too big, but we'll see how it turns out. So, see if I can come up with some more chunky yarns to do this. It's this, it's probably a number 6. So that is my other whip. Now on to some tools that I have found very helpful in my amigurumi, and I've tried to make this video 2 times already, and I guess I don't have enough room. So now I made room, 3rd time's a charm. Here it is. So it's these little pins for placing your amigurumi pieces on your body. or on your amigurumi body, of course. And it has all these types of pins, and you see the head on that. It prevents it from going inside the yarn, you know, because it has this little block at the top rather than just a little pin with a little circle at the top. And there's all kinds of sizes in there, and it comes with so many. I'll link it below. So this is one thing that I found very helpful for keeping parts on the body while you're sewing them for amigurumi. It's been really helpful. The second thing, okay, the second, I don't have my other needle because, okay, here it is. All right, the needle to sew on your amigurumi projects. So here I have a regular sized needle that we use for sewing in ends, and then this is double the size. And I have found this much more helpful in especially even the big ones where you can insert it and then get it out the other side, no problem, because it's so long and easier to handle in big projects like this. So I will link it, of course, and it is double the size, and I don't know the name, of course, because I'm me. But this is here's my little first sewing, my little practice sewing on my little baby machine. See my thread, I did it, and that's practice.
Finish off that edge. You could put fray check on the end here. Teamwork makes the dream work. There we go.
So, and then as you pull the thread through, is it best to do it from the front to the back or the back to the front?
All the way back.
See, I made this.
I know.
Isn't that cute?
It's nice and big too.
Yeah.
Once you get.
But see, I take these classes and I don't finish the projects, and that really sucks.